Morning, friends. Hi, I'm still on my trip. The internet here is kind of slow, so hopefully I can upload this video before I head back home. It's been amazing. I've been hiking and seeing more of Colorado that I haven't seen, and that's been really cool. It's such a really beautiful state, so I've been really glad to get some time to do this. I've probably missed some emails, so if I have, I'll respond when I get back home and I'm settled. I was trying to really kind of unplug as much as I could because it's been like amazing but really busy, and I needed to reset a little bit. So I'm really glad I could do that this week. And if you saw any of my pictures, I hope you liked them. I'll probably post some more. Um, okay, let me see. Okay, today I was going to talk about, I got a question from someone about coming back to hope and love after being going through trauma. This person specifically went through hurricanes and natural disasters and has been having a really hard time. And that's something, sadly, many more of us have been going through. So I'm going to talk about my process with that and any advice I have. And the other side of that question was she wanted to know why, like, how is that different from spiritual bypassing, which some people accused her of when she was trying to feel better. And I don't really know the answer to that. I really don't love throwing terms like that around. I think it's kind of hurtful, and just labeling people on their journeys is. But at the same time, I can understand because I think I know what people are talking about. But sometimes I'm like, did God spiritually bypass me? It was like, everything's beautiful. Here you go. Um, no, I'm gonna start talking. Let's see. Um, okay, so how to come back to hope and to love after going through something really hard, like a dark night of the soul. This is really personal for everyone. It'll probably be different for you. Um, a lot of it for me. I mean, when I think about the best ways that I do that, it's really just sitting. See, sorry, it's really just sitting, and a lot of like clearing my thoughts and meditating, honestly, and like literally bringing light into parts of myself that feel like they've been hidden or really sad. The ways that I did that after my trauma, because I was really, really depressed, is I worked with a healer that I trusted. Um, I started to develop a relationship with my higher power, with God, through my journaling. And that really did open my heart a lot. I started doing yoga. That really helped me because I needed something to come back to my body. So I really do always, if you recommend any kind of mind body practice, sometimes you just have to hold on. You just have to keep holding on because it's like you're just going through a storm, and um, you can't quite see the way out, and you just first you need to like not give up and like keep like trusting that there's a path and that there's a way forward and that you'll find it. If you're not, if because it's hard to just let me try to do all these practices when you're really depressed, so, or when you're having a really hard time, and I know many of us do and have. So like first I guess you just need to say, I'm gonna keep, work at this, or I'm at least not gonna give up, or I'm gonna hold on. And then I just would recommend trying your hand at any of these kind of practices that I talk about pretty much weekly. But prayer and calling out to God and your angels. I'm sorry if I'm using those terms. I really do want to be a safe place for people in deconstruction and for even for people who are agnostic or whatever. So I use those words, but you can say the Great Spirit or divine love, but it's just calling out to the greater love and asking for help. Um, I mean, I will say after my experience ended, I did that a lot and I almost felt nothing. And I felt so depressed. And I would be like, God, I would cry, God, why did you leave me here? God, why did you leave me here? And I would just cry, cry, cry. And it felt very cruel. And I didn't feel the same love I'd felt in my experience. And I felt like I just made it all up. So I know if you're feel like you're calling out and no one's answering. But I didn't understand the purpose was that I was supposed to go through that because it brought me through slowly making peace with my experience, slowly accepting it, and learning how to reconnect in a very specific, like like almost linear way that I can now share with people that I think makes sense. Um, and I don't know, I think I had to go through that. And so maybe that was for my soul's benefit. So I don't know if sometimes, I don't want to say going through a dark night of the soul or a really hard time is like for your soul's benefit, but for me, I'm looking back like I was so mad at God, and yet it like actually makes sense when I think about it now, and I'm kind of mad about that too. So I'm like, oh, fine. Um, so I would just really just first make a make a decision to not give up and to keep holding on, and then start to, develop your relationship with your spirituality, your higher power, um, calling out in prayer, and then letting yourself feel that love. A lot of that comes when you get really quiet. So you might be upset and you're calling out, but then to hear the answers back, you have to quiet your mind and get still and start to kind of trust. And this is something I really feel like we're all being asked to do right now because I don't know what everyone's going through, but I know a lot of people, obviously people that are working with me are want to talk about something in their lives. So I might be seeing a different kind of perspective, but we're being challenged with different situations. And so um to just like get quiet and try to hear whatever guidance there is for you for that or any comfort. Um I'm trying to think what else has helped me. Trusting myself really helped me. And I wasn't really trusting myself after my trauma because, when you get really traumatized, it's like you don't know what's right or what's wrong or which way is true and real because um, trauma can just do that. It can confuse it. It confused me. And starting to really like get to know myself and trust myself. And I did that a lot through journaling. And I did that a lot through like starting to meditate and kind of starting to feel like where was my heart and what was going on with me. Um, I like also the power of now helps people. So, you don't have to do the whole power of now thing, but you can. It's just like being in the moment. And it seems so hard, but when you're just in the moment, that you know that there's not really the past or the future. But I will say, I'm saying all this stuff that helps, but Katrina really um, was hard for me. Speaking of natural disasters, and it's almost the 20th anniversary, and I still dealt with trauma from it. Like, and it was kind of different because I'd had my personal trauma that I didn't talk about, and then I had this collective trauma that we all were able to talk about in a way that was kind of nice to be able to kind of commiserate with people. But I did like not live in New Orleans for a really long time. And yes, every time it rained, I was freaking out. In fact, I still don't live there. Part of me would love to, I mean, I would love to move back. My dad was the one that didn't evacuate, and he lives there now and he's fine. And part of how he dealt with stuff was he does like all the fun New Orleans stuff now. And, he was working in the hospital, so he helped people. And I honestly think helping people really helped me come heal from a lot of that kind of collective and personal. So as I heal, I'm able to offer things to others, which, has for most of my career been working with children. And when I moved back to New Orleans, I worked with a lot of kids who'd been through their own traumas in Katrina. And I don't know, maybe finding purpose in the trauma and working with others. It doesn't have to be a job. It could be volunteering or it could be something else, but that really helped me heal. Um, I guess I would like to think of other ways that would help anyone out of the dark night of the soul. I guess the number one thing is to not give up and to trust that there's a way out. Because when you're in the middle of the dark, like really hard times, you can't see that light almost. And so I would just really encourage you to not give up because I promise it's coming back. And we have different levels of them. I've gone through big ones and small ones, and I feel like I just got out of one, another one. But it is just like it always comes back around and there's a purpose and there's a learning and there's often spiritual gifts in this kind of healing because um it allows you to deepen your connection, and I would just encourage you to keep deepening your connection to the creator. um In terms of spiritual bypassing, I don't. I do sometimes like the most ways that I would spiritually bypass, and I don't know where y'all all on horoscopes. I know it's ridiculous, but I'll sometimes be like, oh well, I have a Cancer moon, that's why I did that. And I just read what the definition of spiritual bypassing is, and I'm like, oh, that's probably it. And I think that is just like a way when you use spirituality to not own like your patterns. And I think I probably do that with astrology. So I had a friend that did that a lot with astrology, but it was kind of cute. It's kind of funny. Um, but I think if you do anything like that, that would be spiritually bypassing. I do kind of joke that maybe God spiritually bypassed me because it was like so much love, and I actually just saw all of it. But at the same time that I saw all this love and light, that's when I had to really start healing my deeper feelings of like that I needed to let go of to be in alignment with that light. So I think there's a way where you're living in love and it's not fake. And maybe that's when spiritual bypassing is like made as an like where you're it doesn't mean just looking for the silver lining or trying to find hope, because I think that's the journey of spirituality and faith is finding that connection and that hope. I do believe in things like hope and beauty and love. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing all this. And I've seen it. But I think if you're feeling mad or sad and upset, and then you say, well, it's okay. Everything I know is actually love, but you don't actually feel it. I think that's where it's called spiritual bypassing. I think you have to actually try to feel it and be sincere about it. I think it's interesting. Um, I think that's something I've wondered about because I mean I have never been accused of spiritual bypassing, but I do talk really openly that I felt all this love as I had after I had a horrible trauma and then I had to heal a whole bunch. So I'm hoping I'm not spiritual bypassing. I mean, it is all love. It's like so beautiful. It's all light. Um, but I think to just pretend that we don't also have a human side, maybe that's what it is. I wouldn't worry about it though. I think if you're looking for hope and you're looking for peace and love, then it's beautiful. And if it's sincerely what you're doing, that's amazing. Um, and I think if you're on the spiritual journey and you are trying to heal, you know, work towards love, but be honest when you're not feeling that way. And then maybe, like, yeah. But I do believe in starting with your day with love and starting your day with uplifting material. And I just did that myself and I meditated. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to live in a loving space. And, but I guess it's just if you're not like, I'm not feeling totally loving all the time. I mean, I part of why I came on this trip, and then I'm about to finish this, is that I've been like I did what I said I wanted to do over the break. I like for my summer break from working in the school, I really wanted to publish my book, which I did. Yay, thanks for anyone who bought it. And I wanted to try what it was like to just do sessions full time, which has been amazing. So maybe in a year or two I'll do that. But I I have been feeling overwhelmed at the same time. And I really did need to come take a few days and reset. And I found out my dreams have been really crazy because I haven't been remembering my dreams. As someone who talks openly about psychic dreams, I feel like really pressured when I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't had any psychic dreams. And here I am going on these podcasts talking about how I have psychic dreams. And then I wasn't remembering any dreams for the last week or two. And then I finally got out here and got really calm and I remembered a bunch of dreams and they were like really busy. Like my life has been, I was going on an interview, but then I had to call and say, hey, I'm going to be late to that interview because I have another interview. And then I'm grabbing some flowers and I was talking with the principal at the school I work at, and I was going somewhere else. I was seeing the shaman, and it was like, whoa, like, I'm sorry, I just got a text. I hope you didn't hear that ding. I forgot to put on Do Not Disturb. Anyway, um, yeah, it was like I realized that I really do need to calm down. My whole life right now is talking about spirituality and healing and how God changed my life. And being honest and not spiritual bypassing, I saw that I have to really learn how to chill. My dreams were so busy. Anyway, I'm hoping that I've gotten back to my reset and I think that's just I think it's beautiful. I'm so thankful that you're on this path with me of healing and finding more love and being in alignment because I really do believe we're all love and all the great religions and sages say the same thing. We're at our core, we're love. That's the Tikkun Olam, where we're all little shards of light and we're supposed to recover, like uncover that light within us. And I think that's so beautiful. I don't think that's spiritual bypassing. I think if you're not quite in the light yet, like many of us aren't, maybe some like ones, I don't know, we're all working towards it. And you just be honest about where you are. And I think that's great. And I'm really honored that y'all are here. And I hope that was helpful for the person that asked me to talk about this. I will talk about this more because I know you're not the only one and we're not the only ones. So, hi, have a great day. And I'm really thankful y'all are here. I hope I can upload this. Okay, bye.